you really believe that you can bring life to the dead?
That body is not dead. It has never lived. I created it. I made it with my own hands from the bodies I took from graves, from the gallows, anywhere. Go and see for yourself.
In the 14th century, people were hired to rouse the ghost. Their job was to attempt to bring the deceased back to life. This strange ritual eventually produced the practice of necrophilia. By making love to the dead, it was believed that sexual arousal would bring the spirit of life back into the body of one who recently died.
Scalpel must cut swiftly and unerringly, while the face is unknowing and still.
What are you waiting for? Get out of here before I embalm you.
Now the disease works its real damage. If the spinal cord is attacked, the victim becomes crippled. If syphilis attacks the eyes, the result is blindness. The brain, insanity. The large blood vessels, death.
procedural. I'm talking about the reticular activating system, heart regulation, respiratory center. Once these activities cease, the brain can only survive an additional 6 to 12 minutes. 6 to 12 minutes.
But the best doesn't come cheaply. And that leads up to what I have in mind. A multiple serum treatment. Absolutely new in medical science. Expensive, but the advantages are great. In short, this treatment will make it possible for you to marry within 30 days.
Oh, Doctor, you mean I'll be entirely...
Sure, yes. Not an aspect of the disease will be left. You'll even be fit for me.
Many patients are old, and often theirs is a tragedy of hospitals such as this. The tragedy of fathers and mothers too old to work, rejected by their own children, classed as senile and committed to mental hospitals because there's nowhere else for them to go.
Both hands, you pull the skin forward over the head. It's very much like peeling a large orange.
We haven't found an answer yet, and we've been working very hard at it. He's beaten himself in every part of his body. He's thrown himself into the ground, into the floor, torn at his body with his hands. He's rubbed himself against objects to raw skin. He's beaten his head to the point of detaching his retina. Not once, but twice.
So he can proceed with his work on the case without having to wait for the pathologist to complete his protocol.
can't understand the reason for such cruelty. It must have something to do with some obscure sexual rite or with the almost profound respect these primitives have for virginity.
Along the midline over the spinous processes of the vertebra from the nape of the neck down to the sacral region. And then we made about 6 transverse cuts that you can see here. And this allows us to now strip away the skin in this fashion. And again, we're able to pick up now posterior cutaneous nerves.
Which will then open the abdomen.